Hi there. Thank you for joining the webinar Study at INTO Manchester Metropolitan University. I am Hugo Bustamante, Recruitment Manager for Global Studies. Global Studies is an educational agency that helps you to apply to study abroad. We have different destinations in the United States, the United Kingdom, Spain, Germany, Ireland, Malta, and different destinations. If you are interested in applying to study abroad for undergraduate or postgraduate courses, you just have to write us. You have here our WhatsApp number, our email address. You can schedule your appointment. So contact us if you are interested in a study, especially if you have questions about INTO Manchester Metropolitan University. Don't forget to write down your questions. Today we will have a special guest, and he is David Thompson. He has a wealth of experience working in the education sector, having spent many years living in China, Japan, Vietnam. David started his career as a teacher before transitioning into teacher recruitment for a major teaching company. Since returning to the UK, he has worked in the international office at the University of Gloucestershire before moving to INTO Manchester in 2018. A big fan of Manchester, David loves the city as there is always a buzz of activity and something going on. A strong believer in the power of education, David enjoys working with people to empower them to change their lives and gain experience to meet their future education goals. If you are watching this webinar in Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, please write down your questions while David makes the presentation, and we will reply all after the presentation. David, how are you?
Hi there. Yeah, I'm great, thanks. And you?
Fine. Everything's fine here.
Excellent. Thank you for the welcome.
Oh, don't worry. It's a pleasure to have you here. And I think you have a lot of things to tell us about your university, yes?
Yes, that's right. I'm looking forward to it. So we've got a presentation, and I'll speak for maybe about 45 minutes, 50 minutes about some of the different options to study in Manchester. And then we'll, like you said, have some time for questions at the end as well.
Perfect. Please.
Great. All right. So hopefully everyone can see my presentation. There we go. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about Manchester Metropolitan University. So as you've heard, my name's David. I'm the International Recruitment Manager at INTO Manchester. So let's start by talking a little bit about Manchester as a city, because Manchester is a fascinating place, a really beautiful, interesting place as well. There's an expression, what Manchester does today, the world does tomorrow. And you'll see that in Manchester. We've got some really rich historical buildings, like on the left and the right there, really beautiful architecture, really fantastic, interesting place to be. But as you'll see in the background as well, lots of big new developments, lots of change. Manchester's a city with a long, interesting history, but also at the cutting forefront of changes in science and development in engineering and business. So it's a really exciting place to be at the moment. Manchester is known as the Northern Powerhouse because we're the biggest, most important city in the north of the UK. And we have a really big student population, about 100,000 students living in Manchester across the different universities here. So it's a really exciting place to be, a very student city. And one thing you'll often see as you go around Manchester is this little bee symbol everywhere. You might see it in taxis, in shop windows. In fact, lots of people in Manchester will even have a bee tattoo on their body. This is because the bee is an important symbol to the people of Manchester. From a long time ago in our history, Manchester gained a reputation for being very hardworking and the people living in very close communities. And because of that, they felt the bee was a good symbol for our city. So we hope you'll be able to think about that and come and join our collective and join our hive as well. Manchester, as I said, big history in science, engineering, technology, development. When you think about the history of Manchester, lots of people think about atomic theory. It was the first place to develop atomic theory, first place to split the atom, also the birthplace of computers, and more recently, graphene, a super material of the future, all discovered here in Manchester. It's also a lot of innovation. So Manchester's never been a place that is scared of change. We'll often see new development, new ideas. The first British aeroplane designed and flown in Manchester, and it was the birthplace of vegetarianism. So people looking to take a more vegetarian diet. And also the suffragette movement. So that was a time in British history when women campaigned for the votes to have more rights. All happened here in Manchester. It's also a city of culture, of arts, of music, of development. We have over 80 different museums, libraries, different things going on. It's such an interesting place to be. If you like live music or comedy events, international exhibitions, they nearly always come to Manchester if they're coming to the UK. It's a really fascinating place to be, and there's always something going on, no matter the kind of media you like. And of course, no one can hear the word Manchester without thinking about sports. We've got two of the very best football teams in the world, Manchester City, Manchester United. For me personally, I'm not a big football fan, but I've still been on stadium tours to both of them because there's something so exciting about the atmosphere. Even if you're not a football fan, we always recommend to our students go and experience a game just for the atmosphere, the energy, the environment. There's something really special about it. Outside of football, however, we're still fantastic. We have aquatic centres, we have basketball, we have cycling velodromes. In fact, if Manchester was a country, it would have come 4th place in the Olympics medal table in 2020 because we have so many professional sports people coming to live and work in Manchester. It's also a city of diversity. People from all over the world make Manchester their home, with over 200 different languages spoken around Manchester. So no matter where you're from, no matter your background, it's a welcoming city, and we'd love to have you here. So we're going to just watch a short little video. I'm hoping you guys can hear the audio on this. If you can't, let me know, but just a little impression about Manchester from some of the people of Manchester.
This is the best place for breakfast.
So there we go. A little bit about Manchester. It's such, I think, an interesting place to live. As they said in the video, it's small enough you can get around everywhere on foot, but there's always so much going on. There's always so much energy here. It really is one of the most exciting places to be at the moment. Fantastic. Right. So this is Manchester kind of city centre, downtown area. And you'll see our INTO Centre is here. So I'll expand on that in a minute. But here is the downtown core of the city. So we've got the retail area, we've got the northern quarter, which is where she mentioned the kind of alternative shops, different kind of styles, different clothings. Deansgate here, which is well known for its music and nightlife and various things going on. Everything you want in a kind of downtown area. And we've got a couple of options for students. For some of you, you'll need to take a foundation course. That will give you 1 more year's extra experience before you enter university. For those of you who need that extra year, we teach it here at the INTO Centre, just here, right in the town centre. And you do that for 1 year before you go to the university down here, about a 10-minute walk away. So we have options for studying at the INTO Centre or direct entry if you already have the qualifications to go to university directly. I'll tell you a little bit first more about us and our INTO Centre. So that's for those of you who have maybe studied 11 years of education so far, and you need 1 more year of experience before you go to university. So you'll see this is our centre. We have about 50 or 60 different classrooms, lots of students, probably about 1,000 students per year, all the kind of things you'd expect for students. We have a really good student services team to make sure those new students that are coming, they get all the help they need, all the support they need to make sure their studies are a success. Big welfare team to make sure you have all that things to do with covering homesickness or time management, learning in a new environment, learning in a new study way. Our team are there to make sure you get all the help and support you need. Our academic support team, they'll make sure you're registered with timetables, with your class registration, making sure you understand when you're doing your exams, what you're doing for your exams, and our placement officers. So after you finish your foundation, these guys will make sure you get all the steps you need to progress on to the university of your choice. So today we're going to learn a little bit more about Manchester Metropolitan University, one of our closest partners we work with at INTO Manchester. And Manchester Metropolitan is a really good university. There are different types of universities in the UK, and the teaching style behind Manchester Metropolitan University, you'll see, is all about having students learn by doing, engaging in real life examples, doing real things, getting real practice to make sure they develop the skills they need to get a good job afterwards. So we'll watch a quick video now about some of the facilities at the university and keep an eye out for the amount of practical hands-on things that students are doing. Fantastic. So that's Manchester Metropolitan, a really great modern university. It's one of the top 200 universities under 50 years old, but does have a longer history with education past that. It's well known for its business school, which we'll learn about in a bit more detail, that has the triple crown of accreditations. So they're the three kind of high marks of quality you can get in a business school. And lots of different subject areas they're teaching, but a really great hands-on, modern learning, good teaching, practical learning that goes on to get students the kind of jobs that they're looking for afterwards. Lots of students at the university. It's one of the biggest in the UK with about 38,000 students. So as you can imagine, a really large student population, really well trusted, really well respected, thousands of different alumni, lots of different sports societies, a really popular place to study in the UK. They have 5 different faculties at the university. So these cover the subjects of business and law, science and engineering, arts and humanities, education, and then the School of Health, Psychology and Social Care. And you can see a couple of the different courses underneath. We'll learn about those courses more in a bit. This is some of the most popular courses that you'll find at the university as well. They obviously teach lots of different areas and lots of different course types. So within computing here, you might find stuff like computer game design, video design, AI, computer science. But these are the main kind of areas in which the university is active on the screen now. So lots of different areas you can study, lots of different things to study. Let's take a look at some of those different schools now. So the School of Business and Law, one of the most popular business schools in the UK, and the law school as well, has about 1,200 students just studying law. So a really popular place to study. As I mentioned, it has that triple crown accreditation. So AACSB, ACCA, and AMBA. So these 3 high marks of quality that really stand out a business school as being an excellent place to study. And less than 100 business schools in the world have all 3 accreditations. So a really great place to be studying. Let's have a quick look at what the campus is like and what it's like for an average student. So there you go, quick little snapshot of that school. It's a really beautiful study environment, lots of different students, and a real high mark of quality. Some of the most popular courses you'll see on the screen here now that they're teaching. I've spoken to some of the staff and they said at the moment, fintech is increasingly popular and something that they can see a lot of growing careers in the future. So that's financial technology, and there's a lot of stuff related to banking and the finances and technology and that kind of stuff in there. So that's a growing area that the university are at the forefront of, but there's lots of other different courses that they offer as well. Second faculty we're going to take a quick look at is Arts and Humanities. Again, this is incredibly popular at the university. The Manchester School of Art and the Manchester School of Architecture are both known internationally for the high quality and the high standards they produce. Manchester School of Art, as I mentioned, one of the second oldest in the UK, founded in 1838, and it has a lot of practicality in it. So there's a big element about teaching students the practical skills that they need to go on to get a career in arts or designs or technology or interior design, a lot of those different skill sets. Fantastic place to study it. They also soon to open the Manchester School of Digital Arts. So photography, graphics, anything involving more computery sides of art as well. That's developing at the moment. They then also have the School of Architecture, which is incredibly well known, incredibly popular. Fashion Institute, which we'll learn a little bit more about now. So fashion is incredibly popular at Manchester Metropolitan. They have a few different courses related to fashion, from design to buying and selling merchandise. There's lots of jobs and lots of industry in this area. So it's a really popular place to work. And some of the students that have studied this have gone on to get great awards, done really well in the industry, and have worked with some big name companies. Here are some of the most popular courses you might find in this school. So architecture is one that stands out. We get lots of students interested in architecture. Same for illustration, photography, lots of different areas like this. We have some really strong pathways for students that are looking to get into that area. Architecture, as I mentioned, number 7th in the QS World Ranking for 2018, consistently ranked among the best in the UK. We have a lot of students interested in architecture who want to go on to study here. Let's have, again, a little short 30-second snapshot of life in this school. There we go. A creative, kind of great place to be alive with different disciplines getting together. Next, we'll take a look at the Faculty of Humanities, Language and Social Sciences. So this is the School of Writing, where they've expanded recently. You'll see a little picture there, what the expanded one looks like. It's seen a big growth in languages. If you're interested in studying a language or writing, they're going to have a famous director, Danny Boyle. He's directed many famous movies, who's going to come in and do a lot of the acting work. And the royal poet, Carol Ann Duffy, is going to be the creative director. So they've got some really big names in the worlds of writing who are coming in. You'll see at the moment, lots of schools of development. So the pictures that we're seeing on the screen come around now. This is some of the new buildings that are being developed as part of the writing and humanities and language side of things. Let's have a quick little video of what a student in this school would experience. Fantastic. And science and engineering. So again, big investment, big technologies in this area. There's a big 3D printing lab at Print City now, where lots of stuff's going on, and lots of science and engineering and technology going on. Automotive engineering is also incredibly popular at the university. It's a really good place to study that. The Formula Student Competition at the F1 track, Manchester Met continues to do well there every year. Student hacks, engineering, flight associations. There's lots of different things going on in the engineering department, and they continually get really good feedback and really good employment. Here are some of the most popular courses that you'd see there. So some of the different engineering courses like software engineering, mechanical engineering, automotive engineering, as I mentioned, is popular at the moment. The environment, computing, mathematics, these are all different courses that are really popular currently at Manchester Metropolitan. And data science. We see a lot of movement in data science at the moment as well. For those of you who are looking for a really good future career, big data, data science, we're seeing an increasing number of students interested in that area. Let's have a little snapshot of what that's. Fantastic. And then the last one we're going to look at is health, psychology, and social care. So this attracts a lot of people who are looking to go into courses like nursing, nutritional science, physiotherapy, that kind of thing. You'll see here are some of the different things that the physiotherapists are doing, including we have people that work for some of the big sports teams coming in as well. So we've got really good connections there, really good links there. It's a great place to study if you're interested in that kind of subject. And last video, quickly watch about that school. So there we go. As you can see, there's hundreds, oh, this is educational, skip now. There's hundreds of different courses going on at the moment, lots of different things for people to study, lots of interest in different areas, different programs. With nearly 40,000 students, you can just imagine how many different students we've got going on, how much activity there is, and it's a really great place to study and gain skills that you need to grow your future. Speaking of future opportunities, the university are currently spending £400 million on building extra buildings, extra development, extra new things in the areas of arts, media, science and engineering. There's a lot of development going on at the moment, so it's a really exciting time to be coming to the UK to study. Employability. Employability is a big part of why students decide to come to university and what students get out of their time at Manchester Metropolitan. So you'll see it on the information on the board here, lots of different things like employability hubs, there's work placement options on so many courses, you'll get skills and development training, and the employment hub you can continue to use after you graduate as an alumni to help you find jobs, to help you find graduate programs. It's a really great place to be. Work placements is something I mentioned there. So a lot of the courses will offer you, instead of studying for 3 years, you can study for 2 years, take a 1-year work placement during which you get paid a salary, you gain practical experience, and then you come back and finish your degree. So a lot of the time now, employers, when they're interviewing people, are using questions like, oh, tell me about a time in which you did so and so. And students who have got that practical 1 year's work experience find it so easy to draw on the experience that they've had and be able to go on to get the kind of jobs that they're looking for. So accreditations, I mentioned earlier, lots of different professional accreditations you'll see on the board here. If you're interested in becoming an ACCA accountant, or if you're interested in becoming an architect or hospitality, lots of different accreditations across the university. And lots of industry links. So like those placements I mentioned earlier, lots of units in which you're doing practical things with practical companies to develop your skills. So it's a really good place to be developing relationships with businesses to enhance what you can do. So you can apply directly for the university through our partners here, Global Studies, who'll be able to help you apply for the university if you're interested in going directly, or if you want to come through INTO Manchester, we have some pathways to help you go on to study. So for those of you who need a foundation, we have engineering and science foundations, we have business and humanities foundations, we have an art and design foundation. So this will get you into practically any course at the university across the different foundations that we offer. Let's finish up here just by learning a little bit about what some of the current students think about the university.
I love Manchester Metropolitan University because of the facilities they have. For example, the library is open 24 hours and they have computers.
For international students, if you have a problem that is something that they have English language, I don't want to Manchester Metropolitan University because it is great student-friendly atmosphere, which is the only language You can say that. And my friends, they always say, oh, you're having so much fun there.
Manchester Metropolitan University provides this money to achieve my dreams.
Fantastic. Let's skip that one. Didn't get too much into that. There we are. So that's the end of the presentation. I hope it's been useful. I'd be really happy if anyone's got any questions, if they want to ask them in the chat now. Happy to answer anything you want to know.
Thank you, David, for the presentation. As you said, if there is a question, please write it down, and David will help us answering your questions. And David, we have some previous questions that our students sent us. The first one says, what is the deadline to apply to study at INTO Manchester Metropolitan University for January intake?
Yeah, so we have an intake for this January 2021. We don't currently have a deadline for it. I know the starting date is on the 14th of January. So it would depend on if students plan to come to study face-to-face or if they want to start online. If they want to study face-to-face, we currently have options for students to travel to the UK, and they can start on some classes online and some classes face-to-face here in the UK. If students want to do that, we'll need a bit more time because we'll need to get their CAS and be able to set them up a visa. For students who want to start online, we're offering students can start online, and then once they've got their documents, travel to the UK to start. So because of that, we're being a lot more flexible, that probably up to kind of like mid-December, you can still make an application. It will give us time to assess your documents, and you might not be able to start in person straight away, but you'll be able to start your classes online using our online platform. And then once you've got your documents ready to travel to the UK, you can shift to the in-person classes.
Oh, perfect, David. We have another question. It says, what type of the students' nationality mix has the university?
Yeah, so the university itself has quite a broad mix from students from, I think they have about 120 different nationalities. So they attract a lot of students from different places. I think probably you're looking at a large number from China, Southeast Asia, Middle East, but they're also expanding. So in the video, you'll have seen students from India, from Latin America, from all over the world, really. So they've got a real mixture of different places. INTO Manchester, we probably have mostly Chinese, about maybe 40% Chinese, 20% Southeast Asia, 20% from Middle East, 20% from Africa, and the other 20% from around the world.
Oh, perfect. Another question says, is there any scholarship scheme available for international students?
Yeah, so we offer some scholarships depending on where students are from and what grades they've got. And for students that need to take a foundation year, if they take their foundation with us and progress on to the university are offering a £2,000 scholarship on every year of study. So if they're going on to study for 3 years, that would be a £6,000 scholarship. So depending on each student's individual needs, there are some scholarships available.
Perfect. Another question says, from January 2021, would EU students need to apply for Tier 4 visa? So,
good question. I think at the moment, so for EU students, I think it will depend on the nature of if, how, and when Brexit happens. So probably not a Tier 4 license straight away. I think they've said for students at the moment, they can continue on as usual. But we'd have to look at any government guidelines that change depending on the next couple of months and what happens with Brexit.
Okay. Perfect, David. I think by now, those are the questions I have. There are no more questions. I want to thank you for your time and your explanation about the university. And I hope that our students will write to us to
Yes.
apply to INTO Manchester Metropolitan University.
Yes,
I
and if
know
you get any
you-
more questions, feel free to pass them on. I'm really happy to work closely together to help the students find their way, either through INTO Manchester or to Manchester Metropolitan Direct. Let's work together and help the students find their way.
Yes. Thank you, David. Thank you for your time
Excellent.
today.
Thanks for your time, everyone, for watching as well. Take care. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you, David. Well, thank you to everyone. And I want to invite you to our next event. We will be live this Sunday, October 25th. We will be talking about the access to Spain universities. We will be with GUIU. And this presentation will be at 15 hours Bolivian time, 20 hours UK time. It will be at 14 hours for Colombia, Peru, and Ecuador, and 21 hours for Spain. So if you are interested in know more about this, please register to the webinar, and we will be glad to help you. Don't forget that global studies help you to apply to universities abroad in different destinations. You just have to write to our WhatsApp number. You can see it is here in the screen now, or to our email address, and schedule your appointment. Our team will be happy to help you in all the process of application. So we will be waiting for you. Follow us in our social media, and we'll wait you for the next webinar. Thank you.
We are looking for students who are prepared to be different, that want to be challenged in what they want to do.
The Art and Design International Foundation course is really special for helping students to prepare for their undergraduate degree.
It is an introduction to art and design as a broad practice.
Exploring visual language is the first module, after which they then will specialise in the pathway module, building up to the final major project.
There's a wide variety of projects that our students work on, from straightforward painting to animation to fashion design.
The students also have an EAP module built in, which is when they study English alongside their art classes.
We teach students in studio, in lectures, in seminars, in workshop situations. We teach usually in small groups, so the learning experience is shared.
The students will produce a body of work in relation to the briefs that we've set them for each project, and we will help them to put that into a portfolio that then goes forward for assessment.
As we go through the 3 semesters, the 3rd semester is a lot more to do with the students structuring their own time and actually taking control of their own project. And we find that by doing that, it does help students prepare for the less hours contact time on the graduate programme and a much more self-directive kind of development of their studies.
One of the great things about our foundation course here is that it's accredited by Manchester Metropolitan University, and that means that the course is tailored perfectly to help that smooth transition from the Art Foundation course to the undergraduate programmes.